Hi everybody, I'm Josephine.
And I'm Brenda.
And we are part of the Inspired Garden design team. We're here today to talk about one of our favorite things, which is fall annuals. I'm here with Brenda because she designed this beautiful garden, and so I wanted to ask her how she did it.
I love working with fall annuals. I love the jewel tones it brings out and how they contrast with the already existing perennials.
I particularly love how bright this fall garden is. You have this perennial, which is one of my favorite perennials, Bonera. And this is the Jack Frost variety. And what I love is how bright this leaf is. And what I think you did so well here is the color of the annuals, and then it sort of reflects with the leaf here, and I just think it's like one of my most favorite things. And then working in the color of the coral bell to kind of draw your eye back into the garden. When you have so many annuals towards the front, I just think that you did that so beautifully. Let's talk a little bit about each particular annual. Sound good?
Yeah.
Right, let's do it. So Brenda, when people think about fall, they think about mums. And I love how you've used these tiny mums here. Tell me about that.
At the Inspired Garden, right, we work with smaller mums. The smaller mums, they're working with the garden, not against it. They're not standing out too much.
I feel like when the mums are smaller, instead of those huge hulking mums that we see like for sale at the grocery store, like you can almost paint your fall palette.
You'll see here that I have a harvesty looking mum. And I put that more towards the edge because it's smaller. And in between, I have these dots of celosia.
Which we call this brain celosia because they look like little brains.
Brainy, yeah.
Yeah, and I do love how it's in the same color family, but just a little more striking.
Yes.
And I don't know, I feel like people give marigolds a bad rap, but these marigolds are so special.
I feel like it goes with the whole color palette, you know? It's like you still have that yellow element to it. To the garden.
Which really, yellow in a garden, like if you're choosing a colorful garden, is such a great choice because it pops at you. Versus some of the other elements which sink your eye back. The marigolds are like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
And that's also why I didn't use too many marigolds. But I like how they have that burnt orange look to it, and it kind of reminds me of fall, and it also works well with the harvest color mums.
We do love marigolds at the Inspired Garden.
Yeah. So another fall annual that we work with are cabbages. Cabbages come in a whole variety. We work with a bunch of different kinds. So one of the reasons why I chose pigeon white was because that white brings out the brightness in the other colors in the garden. So these are asters. They're called lilac asters. And I know you're probably thinking, you know, lilac isn't really a fall color. Like most people don't think of lilac when they think of fall. Something about it in this garden is so beautiful. Maybe it's adding like a sense of, I don't know, something like delicate, you know, to the garden. It's so beautiful. So you can dot pansies all throughout the bed, but they're particularly effective towards the front because they're so delicate and sweet.
So Brenda, if someone wanted to do this design for their own garden at home, what are some design principles they should adhere to?
So one thing that I like to keep in mind is that, for instance, I worked with 5 different kinds of annuals here, and each annual is the same color.
I see, so like, except for the mums, which you varied up.
Right, yeah.
I like the colors you chose so much for this palette, and I really like how we could have had all the same color mums, but you didn't. Like, at least in the mums and the pansies, you did choose to incorporate a different color. Can you tell me why that is?
I think it helps to create a cohesive color palette.
Yeah.
So I like the look.
About the marigolds with that kind of rust color, bringing out the harvest mum,
exactly.
Which makes your eye just glide over this garden so well. It's beautiful, Brenda. Really nice work.
Thanks, Josie.
Thank you, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this tour of our tiny and yet mighty fall annual garden with some of our beautiful perennials still kicking it for the fall season. And we'll be back next time.
See you soon.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thanks, Josie.